Coming up next, a packed house and angry comments as public hearings begin on a proposed highway expansion.
I'm pissed. And so is a lot of people here. You're going to hear that coming up here.
Plus, controversy on campus as a planned event at Penn State sparks worries.
Watch it, listen to it. If you don't like it, don't go.
And meet a local husband and wife who are literally exploring the world.
It was beautiful.
And we spent 3 weeks in the Antarctic.
The Center County Report starts now.
This is our middle brother.
Good afternoon, I'm Marissa Yakinchik.
And I'm Evan Bapalis. Thanks for joining us for the Center County Report. Our top story, big crowds and strong opinions this week at public meetings on the proposed State College connector. That's the highway expansion project years in the making in Center County. Dale Ostrander reports.
It was standing room only at Mount Nittany Middle School, and emotions ran high.
I'm pissed. And so is a lot of people here. You're going to hear that coming up here.
They're going to make it that we don't have as much traffic. I'm sorry, he's going to have to talk an awful lot. I told him I'll see him in court.
The Pennsylvania Department of Transportation released its Planning and Environmental Linkage, or PEL study, to residents of State College for the U.S. Route 322 corridor extension.
Improve safety and connectivity and improve the efficiency of all the roadways within the corridor.
9 routes were approved, but PennDOT has narrowed them to 3 routes, all of them along the existing Route 322 corridor. One option with a connection to Route 45.
I've seen a lot of signs posted along Route 45 saying how this connector road will increase traffic, will cause problems with school buses. When I look at the actual path of the connector road, none of that seems to be true.
However, Bernie Lindsay, a Potter Township resident, thinks that the proposed routes will disturb her neighborhood.
It's just a nice, quiet neighborhood, and now we are going to be surrounded by an extension. We're packed with traffic as it is, and I don't feel we have trucks galore, so we're going to fight as much as we can.
During the meeting, residents were able to voice their concerns to PennDOT representatives. Among those concerns, safety could be made worse. Compensation for homes would make it tough to relocate to a similar home, and breaking up farm properties will affect crop productivity. In Boalsburg, I'm Dale Ostrander for the Center County Report.
The next step is an impact assessment to look at potential noise and environmental impacts in the area.
Pennsylvania U.S. Senate candidate John Fetterman is still taking heat from his opponent over his health, and now he's released a doctor's note about the issue. The doctor says Fetterman is recovering well from a stroke back in May, but he acknowledges Fetterman still feels some effects involving speech and responding quickly. His Republican challenger, Dr. Mehmet Oz, has questioned Fetterman's fitness to serve if elected. A new poll shows many voters have a negative outlook on politics, but at the same time, they're more interested than ever in the election outcome. Malia Brown has that story.
A new poll shows about 2/3 of voters are pessimistic about politics. History teacher Nicole Porter of Hermitage has felt lots of emotions as a voter.
Election, I literally said I voted angry. I walked in and I voted angry.
But this year,
my mood is more change. Like, okay, this is the chance to make some changes in Congress, and let's see where things are going with this.
a new Associated Press NORC survey shows 71% of voters believe their vote in this election will help determine the future of our country. Penn State political science professor Dr. Andy Vitek has been paying close attention to this midterm.
The level of voter engagement across both parties, the level of electoral energy across both parties is very high.
The poll shows big majority across party lines. About 8 in 10 say casting their ballot this year is very important. Experts say there are key reasons.
The Dobbs decision, which overturned Roe v. Wade several months ago, certainly seems to have had the effect of greatly energizing Democratic voters. The overall economic situation tends to motivate individuals to vote as well, with inflation being high.
Voters like Gabriella Bender agree.
I think a lot of people in Pennsylvania know how important it is, especially because this is a state that sometimes flips back and forth with parties. So it's definitely important that everybody gets out and votes if they want to see changes happen.
I'm Malia Brown for the Center County Report.
The same poll shows 58% of voters say they're not satisfied with the state of individual rights and freedoms in the U.S.
Election Day is November 8th, just over 2 weeks away, and some key deadlines are coming up soon. The last day to register to vote in Pennsylvania is next Monday. You can register by mail, in person, or online. And the last day to request a mail-in or absentee ballot is November 1st.
A campus controversy as Penn State closely monitoring an event scheduled for Monday.
White supremacists off campus! White supremacists off campus! It is right to stand up and fight back!
These protesters say they want Penn State to cancel a controversial event set for next Monday. The local chapter of Uncensored America will host an appearance by Proud Boys founder Gavin McInnes and comedian Alex Stein for what's billed as a politically provocative comedy night. The far-right Proud Boys are classified by the Anti-Defamation League as an extremist group.
On free speech.
State College Borough Council voted this week to endorse a letter expressing concerns, and some residents spoke out.
We don't want these people in our town, and we have real good reasons.
The university has condemned the visit and says the presence of any speaker on our campus should not be taken as an endorsement by Penn State. But it says it can and won't stop the event because of free speech protections. A group calling itself the Student Committee for Defense and Solidarity launched a petition demanding the university cancel the event and delivered it to the president's office with more than 2,000 signatures.
Right to free speech does not mean the right to be paid and platformed. Together We Are means nothing if they're not supporting marginalized students and if they're not looking out for our students.
We checked, and the university says that group is not a registered student organization. Uncensored America's Sean Semenko says his organization is dedicated to fighting for freedom of speech, and he wants people to attend with an open mind.
It's just words. It's just jokes. It's not a big deal. Come, watch it, listen to it. If you don't like it, don't go. If you don't like it, protest. If you don't like it, ask a question. If you do like it, please come.
Semenko says censorship is having an adverse effect in our country.
A lot of people are just too afraid to say something because they're afraid of getting fired from their job. They're afraid of being banned on social media. They're afraid of getting canceled. They're afraid of the Twitter mob coming after them. And it's bullying. I mean, it's revenge of the nerds pretty much.
The SCDS group sent a mass email encouraging people to protest the Uncensored America event. A university police statement said provocateurs love nothing more than to fill a room with protesters and record it as content for their online platforms. As a community, we should not advance their purposes. Police will be on site as a precaution. Also, Penn State students are hosting an alternative event on Monday from 6 to 10 p.m. The Together We Are event at the Hub is billed as a chance for the community to show unity and celebrate the people of Penn State.
Center Volunteers in Medicine plans to use a $3 million state grant to help upgrade its new facility in Ferguson Township. The nonprofit organization is renovating a building it bought last year on Sandy Ridge Drive. It'll include more than 11,000 square feet of patient exam rooms and offices. CVIM's patient waiting list is 400 people. And the Geisinger Health System is withdrawing plans for a new primary health clinic that was approved back in May. Geisinger planned to build it in State College at Scenery Drive and South Atherton Street, but it says there have been too many challenges with the project to continue. The township is giving the clinic plan a 5-year expiration date in case Geisinger changes its mind.
A State College Borough vote this week means a big change for downtown high-rises. Michael DeBaton reports.
In 2013, the State College Borough Council passed a zoning tax amendment that required 12-story buildings to house 40% commercial space. 9 years later, plenty of vacant retail spaces remain throughout local high-rises. Earlier this week, the council voted 5-2 in favor of a new zoning ordinance. The new ordinance will not allow future buildings to have commercial spaces on the first floor, a change made because of the vacancies throughout State College. Gary Brandeis, the CEO of Scholar Hotel Group and the developer of the Fraser Center, said it was a lot of work to fill his retail space.
That didn't happen by accident. We worked hard to find that. We worked aggressively to do that.
We made additional investments in our space to get that tenant to come in.
Evan Myers, the former Borough Council president, says changes happen all the time and we need a definite set of rules.
We just had a zoning in place for 5 years. Now it's going to change for how long? Another year? 6 months? Why keep changing things around? What we really need is a comprehensive rewrite.
It was here inside the State College Municipal Building where the Borough Council passed another temporary ordinance. But according to Myers, they should stop passing temporary ordinances and focus on a comprehensive long-term one.
Constantly changing zoning provisions is an economic killer and a planning killer. So no one can count on anything.
The council hopes to have a longer, more detailed ordinance ready by the start of 2023. In State College, I'm Michael DeBaton for the Center County Report.
Borough officials hope buildings like the Standard and the Maxon will begin to fill their undeveloped spaces.
After some cold weather this week, it's starting to warm up, but will it last? The weekend forecast is coming up.
Plus, why a local town is looking for a tree donation. Also coming up, one of the busiest weekends of the year is happening at Penn State. With homecoming and the whiteout game, we take a closer look after the break.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello? That's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? I'm high. Oh.
Stream the best of PBS on any device with the PBS Video app. All your favorite drama, history, science, news, and documentaries, all in one place. Watch your PBS station live or catch up on the shows you missed. Discover new favorites from PBS and locally produced shows from your station. Get the PBS Video app now and stream the best of PBS anytime, anywhere.
We care about things that affect the lives of every American.
We are there at the front line
to get to the heart of what really matters in every issue.
This country has not seen this in 80 years.
This extraordinary moment in American history.
You're making such a huge impact.
Trust is at the heart of what we do.
Thousands of people are traveling to State College today for a big weekend. It's the annual football whiteout game and homecoming at Penn State. Reporter Logan Brandis is live on campus with more on the events. Logan?
Thanks, Marissa. I'm down here at the RV lots in State College where RVs have been rolling in since last night. That's even continued this morning as well. That's all in preparation for tomorrow's homecoming and whiteout football game. That'll wrap up what has been a busy homecoming week.
Penn State's homecoming week is one of the busiest of the year. It kicked off with a Thon 5K on Sunday and will wrap up with a whiteout football game. On Wednesday, the Best of Penn State Carnival happened on campus on a cold and rainy day, but there's still plenty of popcorn, cotton candy, and cornhole. Jessica Moeller is one of the carnival organizers. She says it's an 8-month project.
A lot of preparation. I got my position back in February. We start talking about it then. We have an event in the spring that we start talking about, but once the summer hit, my focus was on this event. I was emailing vendors, communicating with the inflatables, and then once we get back to school, it's a lot of work internally, talking to internal homecoming. So it's been a lot of communication.
A week of events leads up to tonight's homecoming parade. We drove the route that goes from the Bryce Jordan Center across campus, downtown, and all the way to Rec Hall.
While it may look busy now, it'll look even busier after the roads close at 5 p.m. here on College Ave as the homecoming parade makes its way through it. thus kicking off arguably the biggest event homecoming week has to offer.
RVs are also starting to roll in for the football game, with many of them arriving already last night. Moeller says having the whiteout during homecoming also poses new challenges.
Homecoming week is an exhausting time for volunteers. We spent a lot of time planning it, and to end with the whiteout is just going to be a lot.
In preparation for today's parade, roads both on campus and downtown will close later today. Reporting from the RV lots in State College, I'm Logan Mirandis.
Thanks, Logan. The Penn State All Sports Museum will be hosting its annual Trick or Treat Night featuring Penn State athletes on Tuesday from 6 to 8 p.m. Student athletes will hand out candy to kids in front of the museum on Curtin Road. The event is free to the public, and non-perishable food donations are also being accepted for the Lion Pantry Food Bank.
With the holiday season almost here, the Borough of State College wants to know if you can donate a tree for downtown. Every year, a donated evergreen tree is decorated and lit for the holiday season at the Allen Street gates. But as of this week, the Downtown Improvement District is still looking for a tree donation. It's hoping for an evergreen about 25 feet tall. The lighting is scheduled for November 17th.
The sun is shining over the Penn State golf courses this afternoon, and it's going to feel almost as good as it looks, especially as we go into later this weekend. Temperatures in our area in the middle 50s to low 60s, and this is much closer to average than we've seen over the past couple of days, where we've been almost 10 to 20 degrees below average. And that is due to a high pressure system that's beginning to move its way into our area from the south, and that southerly flow has kept our temperatures a little bit higher, especially as we go into this weekend, and our skies are going to be remaining clear as well. Now, earlier in the week, we had this pesky low pressure system up in Canada that had kept our temperatures below average and our skies mostly cloudy. But as that system begins to move out to our north and east, high pressure is going to remain for the weekend to make it look a little bit nicer. Now, we're going to stay relatively clear as we go through the rest of the day today and on Saturday, but then we're going to contend with a coastal low pressure system that is going to bring some cloud cover and rain showers, particularly to central and eastern PA. The showers could come here into central PA, however, most people are going to stay dry. The main precipitation is going to be to our south and east. Now, before we can get to that, for today, temperatures a little bit closer to average with a high of 61 and plenty of sunshine thanks to that high pressure system. However, for later on for the homecoming parade, you may want to pack a jacket because it's going to be pretty chilly only in the middle 30s, though it'll be continuing to be clear. And for the day tomorrow, temperatures between 5 and 10 degrees above average with a high of 67 and remaining sunny and warm as well, which makes it a great day for Penn State's homecoming game. It's t-shirt weather for the tailgates during the day, getting into the mid to upper 60s. However, kickoff is not until 7:30 p.m. So by the time you want to go into the stadium, it may be time to pack a sweatshirt or a jacket because we'll be getting down into the middle 40s by the time the game ends. And our 7-day forecast shows our trends over the next couple of days. So we'll start out with abundant sunshine as that high pressure remains stationed over our area. But as that coastal low pressure system begins to move up the coast, hence its name, we do have that chance of rain showers going in to the weekend and the beginning of the week next week, though we're going to stay relatively above average for this time of year in the middle to upper 60s. And we have a second low pressure system that could be impacting us midweek next week. But I think for this weekend, for the homecoming parade and the football celebrations, it's going to be really nice weather.
Thanks, Dana. Sounds like the weather gods are Penn State fans.
Yeah, most definitely. And Penn State definitely needs to win this weekend. But for more sports, we have Dale.
Thanks, guys. It's a big high school football night as State College tries to stay unbeaten. That's coming up in sports. And the Nittany Lions try to bounce back after a blowout loss. You'll hear Coach James Franklin's message to the team.
lose my skin. Think it's time I find my place here.
Fasten your seatbelt.
You're taking my breath away.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Amazing. Well, what are you waiting for?
You belong here. This is your home. What is your sense now of the humanitarian situation?
This is making me emotional.
This experience I'm going to carry with me the rest of my life.
I'll always be so grateful for everything you did for me.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
I'm Dale Ostrander with sports. Penn State football hopes to get back on track tomorrow in front of a big whiteout crowd at Beaver Stadium. That's after the Lions' first loss of the season. Madison Miller reports.
The Nittany Lions suffered a humbling blowout loss at Michigan last Saturday. This week, the team is back at practice, hoping to get back on track as it faces Minnesota. Coach James Franklin says there's no time to look in the rearview mirror.
And there's a fine line between making sure everybody understands, that whatever the outcome was not good enough, but also not to the point where it lingers.
Freshman quarterback Drew Aller replaced veteran quarterback Sean Clifford in last week's game after he left with a shoulder injury. He was back at practice Wednesday, but his status is still uncertain. Wide receiver Harrison Wallace says Aller continues to develop.
He's more of a vocal person, and he's more like in tune with everything.
He says communication is key in tough games.
So, you got to talk to the quarterback where you're going to be, where he's going to throw it. Just think about that.
The last time the Lions faced Minnesota, they lost by a total of 5 points.
95% of the game plan is going to be what we have seen, with a few little wrinkles to keep you honest.
The Golden Gophers are 4-2 and have dropped 2 straight games. Tomorrow is the annual whiteout, but it's also a homecoming and a huge recruiting weekend with lots of special guests.
But this weekend tests you. It tests you for sure. So,
in University Park, I'm Madison Miller for the Center County Report.
Tomorrow's game kicks off at 7:30 p.m., and you can listen to it live on Penn State's Column Radio. Some potential future Nittany Lions at State College High are getting ready for a big matchup tonight. The Little Lions move back to the Friday Night Lights after a 20-6 win over Harrisburg last Saturday. Tonight, they'll run into a tough matchup against a Cumberland Valley team. State College is led by senior quarterback Finn Furmanek and freshman running back Deontay Sheffy. And that game is tonight. Well, that game will be tonight on the After the Whistle Game of the Week, with 8-0 State High hosting Cumberland Valley at Memorial Field at 7 p.m. You can catch the highlights from that game and more on around District 6 on After the Whistle at 11:15 p.m. on our YouTube channel. Let's shift over to the ice. The Penn State men's hockey team opened a series last night against St. Thomas. The Nittany Lions dominated from start to finish. Penn State had 6 different goal scorers, including sophomore defenseman Simon Mack, who notched his first career goal. Penn State went on to win 6-2 to stay undefeated this season. They're playing Game 2 tonight of the series at 7 p.m. And in pro sports, the Philadelphia Phillies have enjoyed a good run so far in this year's MLB playoffs. Philadelphia and San Diego are tied 1-1 in their National League Series championship after 2 games on the West Coast. The series now shifts back to Philly tonight with first pitch set for just after 7:30 p.m. That's all for sports. Now back to you at the anchor desk.
Thanks, Dale. Coming up next, a retired State College couple shows us how they spend their time traveling the world.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Stream the best of PBS on any device with the PBS Video app. All your favorite drama, history, science, news, and documentaries, all in one place. Watch your PBS station live or catch up on the shows you missed. Support your PBS station and you can get Passport, giving you full seasons, early releases, special collections, and more. Get the PBS Video app now and stream the best of PBS anytime, anywhere.
We care about things that affect the lives of every American.
We are there at the front lines
to get to the heart of what really matters in every issue.
This country has not seen this in 80 years.
This extraordinary moment in American history.
You're making such a huge impact.
Trust is at the heart of what we do.
Many people say they want to travel the world. Well, a retired State College couple married for 62 years really can say they have. Reporter Serena DeVanzo explains.
The Village at Penn State is home to a lot of retirees, many of them hoping to relax and settle down after the years of hard work. But don't tell Jim and Alice Womble to settle down. They're busy traveling the world.
Yeah, we've been to all the oceans, all the seas, most of the major rivers.
You know, we tried to get 6 weeks at all different places.
The couple has visited 157 countries and counting. What began as work travel turned into half a century of memories Jim and Alice have shared. When it comes to travel, they say the only places they haven't seen are the interiors of China and Africa. Their home is filled with souvenirs from their many trips, and they have met many new people and lifelong friends along the way.
So we met, and we talked, we liked each other, and I was interested in studying outside of Hungary, and we kept in touch ever since and become such a close friends.
The Wombles have trekked the Great Wall of China and even rented a castle in Italy. Even though they have seen some of the most well-known places and historical events, some of their favorite memories are in the most unlikely of places.
Because we went down to the Antarctic.
It was beautiful.
And we spent 3 weeks in the Antarctic.
They'd love to tell you their Antarctic story too.
And you have to stay inside the ropes. And you're not allowed to go to a penguin. A penguin can come to you, but you can't go to them. Well, the lady in front of me, a little baby penguin came in, put his head on her shoe.
Jim and Alice hope to one day take a Trans-Siberian Railway trip if Russian relations improve. In the meantime, they'll keep hitting the road to explore the world. In State College, I'm Serena DeVanzo for the Center County Report.
A castle in Italy. How cool are they?
Yeah, that is awesome. They've definitely seen a thing and have some stories to tell.
That's all for today's newscast. We hope you'll join us Tuesday for our next local news update.
But you can follow us anytime for breaking news and watch our stories on our Center County Report social media. You'll find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and our website. Have a good afternoon.